Hello, Gemini. Thank you for joining me. This is going to be your July monthly overview reading. And this is a general message that is timeless for whenever you find it. Even though it says it's for the month of July, we're all on different timelines. So the way I do these monthly overviews is a little bit different than everybody else out there. I do 3 rows. Your first row is going to be your how you're feeling, thinking and feeling throughout the month of July, with the second row being kind of pulling on your heart and soul, what your heart and soul is feeling, thinking, so that subconscious level, so what you're kind of feeling and thinking at a subconscious level. And then we see that third final row is kind of how that comes out into the 3D world, what you're thinking and feeling at a conscious level, tied in with what you're feeling and thinking at a subconscious level, and what that looks like when it comes out and manifests into your physical reality. So, and then we wrap it up with one final card for love. And I only do the one card at the end because I know people want to know about love, but there are so many great love tarot readers out there that you can find messages about love. That's not what I want my focus on. That's why I'm called Soul Conscious Tarot, because I want to look more at those deeper messages that are more at a soul level, that we may not think about, than focusing directly on love. So I'm definitely going to have to pull some more, because on this, your Oracle card, I need a little bit more, but I'm feeling like a little bit stoic. I'm getting off of this card, I'm getting almost a 7 of Wands feeling off of it. If you've looked at the or seen the 7 of Wands in the Light Seer's deck, it kind of reminds me of that lady that's sitting there in a yoga pose, kind of looking off with her eyes closed. That's what I'm feeling off of that card, right off the bat. But we'll have to get the rest of the cards to see if how that plays out. So, and then for your emoji card, we have I'm getting a little bit critical, Gemini, is what I'm getting for you. That's what I'm feeling right off the bat. Critical of something, critical of someone or something. So much, almost a little bit of a judgmental, a little bit of I'm done with this. It's almost like, in a little bit, it's, even though this person, this emoji has that monocle, I almost get a feeling of the stink eye. I'm not going to lie, Gemini, I'm getting like this stink eye feeling. And then your first card is, we have the 8 of Cups, of walking away from something. So, like I said, that first Oracle card really gave me the impression of that 7 of Wands being defensive, stoic, defensive, standing your ground, kind of an energy. And then with that emoji card, it's, being critical or kind of just judgmental. Like I said, getting the stink eye, like, I'm done with this. I'm done with it, whatever it is. And this doesn't, it's whatever, you're going to have to apply it however it applies to you, because I don't, like I said, these aren't necessarily love readings. So it can be any aspect within your life that you feel like you're just done with. You're tired, like, you're tired of the way you're you're being treated. And so that's left you wanting to, kind of in this, like, looking at options, kind of wanting to, like, unsure whether you want to stay where you are, because you've definitely been hurt a little bit, and so you're really just about fed up and ready to think about something else. Think about maybe moving somewhere else or going somewhere else. Because like I said, I really feel like you're at this fed up, I'm done with something or someone in my life, is what you're feeling and thinking throughout the month of July. Is just like this energy of I'm done, you know, whatever that is to you, whether it's a person, a job, whatever context, you'll have to take it how it resonates with you. But your month of July is going to be, you know, almost this frustrated, fed up with something or someone, but it's gonna, you know, you're gonna need a little bit of time. I think part of that is going to be separating yourself away from whatever this is, and looking at how, you know, where do I go next, or what, making a decision, you know, trying to make that decision of where, you know, how do I be done with this, is what I feel. And so in this, you know, in your soul, you have the labyrinth. And I talked about the labyrinth on my my weekly overview for this last week of June, going into July. My soul weather forecast actually talked about the labyrinth because it came out in as part of the oracle card, the discussion I had on the oracle card for that reading. So you might want to watch that, because I think a lot of that message might tie to you, Gemini, for the month of July. Or there might be something in it that might help you with some of this. But for me, a labyrinth, like when I walk the labyrinth, and I've done that many times, and I love labyrinths. I love the journey that a labyrinth represents. And to me, it represents that, you know, you walk the labyrinth and you walk into the center. You move into the center. And as you move into the center, you're meditating and contemplating on different ideas and aspects. You're going within yourself and thinking about things, you know, just taking the time to meander and walk that labyrinth and analyze and think about things, so that you can gain the wisdom you need and seek on a situation. And then you can, when you come back out the other side of that labyrinth and move on to that outward path back out, you know, the spiral path back out, you bring that knowledge, that wisdom that you gained within yourself out into the world. You birth it out into the world, into, you know, whatever that is, depending on what it is that you're focused on and concentrating on within your life. I think this deck, we're going to use this deck for your soul self. So with that labyrinth card, it looks like to me, you know, you're going to be, especially you have the Four of Swords in your kind of a healing energy in your thoughts and feelings. So it is like healing something that has happened. It's healing something, taking a moment to reflect on something, on the way someone has treated you, or something, whether that, you know, like a job, whatever, something, or if you had some kind of somebody let you down, disappointed you, or somebody said something you didn't like, and like you're just, like I said, I really get an energy of kind of being fed up, and then figuring out how do you move on from that, you know. Trying to make a decision, really trying to make a decision to put something down, to give something up, put something down. And I see with that Four of Swords that, you know, this is something that was, that had some significance or meant something to you, which is why it's hard to just give it up and make a choice to move on. But I see you're about at that breaking point, you know, like you're really close. If you're not already at that breaking point, you're very close to that breaking point of ready to, you know, ready to just set this down, but you're not, you're trying to figure out, you know, in your soul, if you really want to set that down. It's making me really shuffle these cards for your soul energy, Gemini. Can I get 2 more cards on soul energy, please? And Gemini's soul self, their subconscious mind, please. Okay. Okay. So, it looks like to me that it's like you're having your soul is kind of telling me that your ideas of what, Gemini, of what is long, like maybe you struggle a little bit with impulsiveness or like that's not quite the right word, of dreaming about things, you know, like you have a lot of ideas, a lot of these great ideas that you have, you know, but it's like you either are challenged with bringing them into reality and making them, you know, birthing them into reality and making them a part of your life, or, you know, or when you have these great ideas, they kind of fall through and they don't work out the way you thought they would, when you imagined, you know, when you had the idea of something. It either things keep failing you and they don't, you know, they're not lasting in your life in the way that you want them to, or you have a tendency to constantly have great ideas that you don't take action on. You just, you know, you just think about all these great ideas like somebody that, you know, like, oh man, I'd love to do this and I'd love to do that, but they don't actually put the action and effort behind it to make it happen. So you're probably fall in one of those 2 categories, Gemini. So that's what I'm really picking up. And so it's like you're tired of that. You're tired of, that's what I feel like what your soul and heart are trying to tell you, that you're tired of things not being permanent in your life, not working out for you, or, you know, frustrated and tired with yourself. It's either external or internal to you, and for each Gemini it's going to be different, because it's going to be whether you continue to try things, and it could be a combination of both. You keep trying to do things in your life and they keep falling short of your hopes, dreams, aspirations, intentions, expectations. They keep falling short and disappointing you. Or you're disappointed in yourself because you have all these great ideas, but you're looking at your life and going, oh my gosh, all this time has passed and I've had all these great ideas, but I've not done anything, you know, where you haven't taken action on all the great ideas, and you're realizing you're at a point in your life where you're realizing, oh my gosh, I'm getting older and I'm going nowhere. I need to do something about this, you know? And so it's either, you know, being done with that behavior of just constantly being up in your head and having all these ideas that you take no action on. So you want to start taking action, but you're maybe not quite sure how to do that. You haven't made that decision. You're still juggling the idea of how to do that for yourself, or you're in that energy where, like I said, where external things keep letting you down. And so you're like, I'm done with people and things that keep letting me down, but how do I figure out, you know, how to avoid that happening in the future for myself? So either way, it's like working with those energies to figure that out for yourself. But that's what I feel like you're really wanting to be done with from what's coming out on these cards, Gemini. So we're looking at now, I'm trying to pull your cards for your physical reality. So this is how this all comes together in the physical world. It's in a way kind of an outcome, a little bit. So this is, I have deep freeze, which to me is that, is kind of that Five of Pentacles energy, where you're kind of left out in the cold, kind of abandoned, left out in the cold, which, I mean, that makes sense in a way, because of the fact that, if you're a Gemini, that things continuously keep falling short for you, or, where you keep taking action towards things and they don't last long term in your life. You're just, it's like one failed thing after another, and you just keep getting disappointed either in yourself or other people. That can make you feel like, you're just like nobody's got your back, or that the universe doesn't have your back, like nobody's supporting you, and you can feel like you just don't have the power and the ability to change your circumstance. But you do. Look at that. The King of Pentacles. You do have the ability to change your circumstance. You can have this abundance in your life that you're seeking. You can do it. You have the power to do it. You just have to believe you can. And I see Geminis that this resonate with, that they're ready to do that. They're ready to step out of feeling like, like they don't have any power and control, and ready to take control, ready to, it's that flipping that switch between victim mentality or not, because when we're in victim mentality or victim mode, we think that we have no power to change our circumstance, that everything that happens in our lives is, that we're powerless against whatever happens, that things happen and we don't have any control or power over what happens to us. So that's when we're in victim mentality, that's how we think. It's like, it's that constantly thinking, woe is me, thinking down and negative thoughts, because you feel like you can't change, that things are happening to you and you don't have any power to control the things that are happening. And so it's changing that dynamic and realizing you do have the power and ability to change your life, that you have that you're the only one. There's no one external. There's nothing in the world, that can change your circumstance but you. And it's doing the work to realize what's stopping you and what's holding you back from what you're wanting to have in your life. You can change that, and you're starting to realize, Gemini, I'm looking at Geminis that are starting to realize that they do have the power to change their circumstance, that it's all within them, and it's their job and nobody else's job to make them happy, that they have to do it themselves. And so I do see, that you have a tendency, and this is coming out in your physical reality, that you are challenged with when it comes to terms of abundance in your life, because you self-sabotage. Or this is going to lead, because this is your physical reality and how this is going to play out in the month of July, that it's going to lead, to not a lot of action, because you're going to be stuck in your head, and you're going to have a tendency to self-sabotage by, a little bit, by almost like making excuses for yourself. It's that victim, like struggling with that victim mentality and defaulting to it, that that's your default mechanism. And it's very hard to switch gears and be done with being the victim and identifying with being a victim, and really just saying, I'm taking charge of my life. I'm going to make things happen for me because I'm the only one that can do it. Nobody can do it for me. And that can be very hard, especially if you're a Gemini that has a tendency to escape reality, to avoid things in your life. Like if things aren't going your way, you tend to try and carpet sweep or ignore the situation, or not think about it, deflect, not think about it, avoid it. And that leads to, you not making the effort that's necessary to change the circumstance. So you have a tendency to do things that kind of self-sabotage, that stability you need, because you either make excuses or play the victim, woe is me, instead of actually taking charge in your life. But I see, Gemini, this, if this resonates with you, these are Geminis that are wanting to set that down, that are wanting to change that aspect within themselves, wanting to step forward and outward and make a big change in their life, to take charge of their life and change it for themselves to make their lives better. So for your final cut, or final cup, so we're going to play that in there because this is interesting. So for your love card, your final card for the reading for the month of July, you have the 10 of Pentacles. And I almost said, like, I don't know why, but I felt like Ace of Cups. So what I'm going to say is that if in your love life, if you actually flip this script for yourself, if this is a Gemini this is resonating with, if you flip that switch and start taking control of your life, you will find a new beginning in love that can lead to the stability that you are wanting in your life for the long term. But it's only going to happen when you flip this script that you're currently running under, which you're trying to do. But be patient with yourself, because it is going to take time. It's not going to happen overnight. But when you do step out of that victim mentality and into self-empowerment and take control, that's when it's going to lead to new beginnings that are going, whether it be in love or not, lead to new beginnings that are going to be more stable in your life, because you will then know that you have all the control to make things happen for yourself, depending on the actions that you're taking in your life. So I think that was an amazing, amazing message for you, Gemini. If this did indeed resonate with you, I would appreciate if you would hit that like button below, share your energy with mine, and feel free to leave any comments that you wish to leave. Also, if you'd like to join me, I'd love to have you. If you want to hit that subscribe button as well. I do a few different readings each and every week. Plus, on top of that, I started doing these every month. So if you enjoyed it, I would love to have you as part of my group. Thank you so much for tuning in and joining me this month. I wish you the very, very best. Joy, love, and light.